Did you know that one African king's pilgrimage caused a global economic crisis? Today, we're diving into the often overlooked history of Africa, as presented in documentaries, separating fact from fiction and revealing some truly astounding truths. Let's start at the very beginning, with the origins of humanity itself. Africa is widely recognized as the cradle of humankind. Documentary evidence consistently points to the continent as the birthplace of Homo sapiens. Fossil discoveries in places like Jebel Irhoud in Morocco, dating back over 300,000 years, and Omo Kaibish and Hato in Ethiopia, confirm this. East Africa often takes center stage, but findings across the continent highlight the widespread development of early humans. Next, let's explore ancient Egypt and Nubia. The Nile Valley gave rise to one of the most enduring civilizations in history, ancient Egypt. Around 3100 BCE, the Egyptian state unified under Nama, also known as Menes. But Egypt wasn't alone. To the south, in Nubia, the kingdom of Kama flourished, followed by the powerful kingdom of Kush. Intriguingly, Kushite rulers even governed Egypt during the 25th dynasty, from 744 to 656 BC. Figures like Pi, Tahaka, and Tantamoni ruled over united Egypt and Nubia, challenging the Eurocentric view of ancient history. Moving westward, we encounter Carthage, a Phoenician colony that rose to become a dominant maritime power in the Mediterranean. Founded around 814 BC, Carthage challenged the Roman Republic in a series of Punic Wars, events that shaped the course of Western civilization. Ultimately, Carthage was destroyed in 146 BC, but its legacy as a sophisticated trading empire endures. Now, let's journey to West Africa, home to some of the most impressive empires of the medieval period. The Ghana Empire, flourishing from the 6th to the 13th centuries, controlled vital trade routes in gold and salt. This empire's wealth laid the foundation for its successors. The Mali Empire rose to prominence in the 13th century, founded by Sundiata Keita. Under Musa, who ruled from 1312 to 1337, Mali became renowned for its immense wealth. His pilgrimage to Mecca in 1324 was legendary, with so much gold distributed that it destabilized the Egyptian economy. Timbuktu, a city within the Mali Empire, became a major center of Islamic learning. The Songhai Empire then took center stage in the 15th century. Rulers like Sunni Ali and Askir Muhammad I expanded the empire, but it eventually fell to a Moroccan invasion at the Battle of Tondeba in 1591. These empires demonstrate the political sophistication and economic power of pre-colonial Africa. Shifting our focus eastward, we arrive at the Swahili coast. From around the 9th century CE, a series of city-states developed along the East African coast, including Kilwa, Mombasa, and Zanzibar. These cities were integral to Indian Ocean trade networks, connecting Africa to Arabia, Persia, India, and later Europe. The exchange of gold, ivory, iron, and enslaved people shaped the Swahili culture, a cosmopolitan blend of African, Arab, and Persian influences. Up north in the Horn of Africa, the kingdom of Aksum emerged by the 1st century CE. Aksum was a major power, minting its own coinage and engaging in extensive trade. King Izona in the 4th century adopted Christianity, making Aksum one of the earliest Christian states. Ethiopia's history showcases a continuity of state traditions that predates European colonialism by centuries. Moving south, we arrive at Great Zimbabwe, a remarkable city built by ancestors of the Shona people. Flourishing from around 1100 to 1450 CE, Great Zimbabwe is famous for its dry stone architecture, including the Great Enclosure and the Hill Complex. For decades, European writers falsely attributed the city's construction to outsiders, ignoring its African origins. Now, let's address the painful chapter of the Atlantic slave trade. From the 16th century onward, millions of Africans were forcibly transported across the Atlantic. While Europeans drove the demand and controlled the maritime power, the trade involved multiple actors. Scholars estimate that 12.5 million Africans were embarked, with about 10.7 million surviving the journey. The Berlin Conference of 1884-1885 formalized the scramble for Africa, leading to European control over nearly the entire continent by 1914, with the exception of Liberia and Ethiopia. Finally, let's consider the decolonization era. Beginning with Ghana in 1957, African countries gradually gained independence. Nigeria, Kenya, Algeria, Tanzania, Angola, Mozambique, Zimbabwe, Namibia, and South Africa all achieved independence in the decades that followed, marking a new chapter in African history. Beyond these broad strokes, documentaries often reveal overlooked details. Africa was not an empty continent before European arrival. It had urban centers, complex monarchies, and sophisticated commercial systems. Timbuktu was not just a trading post, it was a major center of Islamic learning, housing libraries, and manuscript traditions. Musa's pilgrimage had real economic effects, causing inflation in Cairo. Great Zimbabwe was an African creation, not built by outsiders. The Congo Kingdom was a powerful centralized state with diplomatic relations with Portugal. Africa had early industrial-style metallurgy. The Swahili coast was cosmopolitan and multilingual. Ethiopia preserved its sovereignty through the Battle of Odwa. Women played major political roles, like Amina of Zozo, Yasantewa, and Zingamband. African history is far more complex and rich than many realize. By exploring these narratives, we can gain a more accurate and nuanced understanding of the continent's past and present. Documentaries play a crucial role in this process, challenging misconceptions and promoting a more inclusive historical perspective.